everybody, and welcome to Saturday Morning Live, the show where you get to join the conversation. If you like what we do over here on Network 1901, you will definitely want to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to see what else we're doing. We have 3 shows a week other than this one. Monday we do the DCC. You can watch those shows by clicking any of the thumbnails that have the little purple icons on them, also say the DCC, or you can check out our more, I guess, heavily produced shows.
Sure.
They're the teal icons, or if you want to check out more Saturday Morning Live episodes, those are always going to be the pink thumbnails. But this week in Saturday Morning Live, we are talking about
Marvel.
Marvel and what the best superpower is. And I don't think we're going to come up with the best superpower, but I think we all have our favorites. So I'd like to talk about that. So as always, I'm Angie Taylor. I'm joined by Josh Taylor. And
we're married.
Yeah, we're not like brother and sister, you know. That would be like another reason to have the same last name.
Sure, yeah.
Or it could be a coincidence. So if you are in the chat, say hi. And let us know if your username is not your name. Let us know your name as well and introduce yourself to us. Introduce yourself to everyone else. I already see very familiar names in the chat right now. We got a lot of people here.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're watching this on the replay and you want to give your thoughts on the best Marvel superhero or character, because this is live and a bunch of people are going to give their thoughts as well as us, make sure to leave a comment down below on this video and let us know what your best superpower from the MCU is. Yeah. But we're going to divide this up into 4 categories, right, Angie?
Yep. So first, I just want to give a couple of shout-outs. Hi to Brittany, hi to Noel, Diz Geekly, Paparazzi Mike, Skylar, David, Phoebe. So we're going to just jump into it right now, okay?
Yeah.
So first of all, we're going to start with the superheroes that are kind of in that first wave of the Avengers. So you got your Iron Man, your gods like Thor and Loki. You got Hulk, Captain America, and I'm just going to throw in Hawkeye and Black Widow. Technically, they don't have like superpowers, but I would say their training and their equipment is a little bit above, the norm. So I'm throwing them in there because maybe somebody would pick them.
Sure, yeah.
I don't want to leave anyone out. So Josh.
Out of these?
Yeah, let's talk about these. What do you think? What do you think's the best superpower?
Okay, so I actually really love Hawkeye. That's just like a personal character that I really love, and I don't know, like that's just a character I've loved since I was a kid. But I would say out of these, Iron Man obviously is like self-made. He doesn't have any like built-in superpowers. He's not a mutant, right? But I think that he's the most prominent character. Like I think that he's overall the best character because of how smart he is and how great he is with tech.
Yeah. Well, you have to think that like the problem with the tech is that he is not powerful outside of it. So we got pros and cons for all of these. So Iron Man, sure, the tech's great. He's super rich. And pretty much everything's at his beck and call. But without the suit, who is he? And then you got the Hulk, super strong. But again,
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. And he's like, he loses control of himself.
Yeah, could be a villain. He's in this weird gray area, you know?
You got Captain America. He was actually kind of a science experiment, and he's super strong. I mean, super strength. I guess the Hulk's got that super strength as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's not as strong as Hulk, but he is strong.
Diz Geekly says, Hulk?
I think like Thor, when you talk about strength, Thor beats out Captain America, right? I think that he would, and then you have the Hulk a little bit higher than him, or maybe on the same level. So if you were going to go strength, I would go Thor, because he's always strong. Like Bruce Banner isn't anything.
Yeah. I guess Thor doesn't really have a weakness. Just his personality might be a little bit of a weakness.
Yeah.
But that's not
I think family is a weakness for him.
David Mock says Cap is also super fast. That's true.
Yeah, I think that if you were to go with like the original Avengers, which one could you take out and be weakened? Like the whole team would be weakened by?
Yeah.
I would say Captain America because he's fast, he's strong, and he's like a good leader.
Yeah.
Iron Man is also, I mean, he has the suit and he's a good leader, but he's not fast or strong. So
Yeah.
I think you could take him out of the equation
Iron
and be
Man?
fine. I think you could take him out of the equation. If you had Thor, Hulk, and Captain America, I think that you would have a fine team.
Okay.
And then like with Hawkeye and Black Widow there, you would have a fine team there. I don't know. What does everybody else think here from the original Avengers?
Yeah.
You know, what's your go-to there? But should we move on to like the second wave
Yeah,
and kind of
let's
talk
move
about
on.
this?
If you guys want to continue the discussion in the chat, we'll keep referring to that. But we're going to go to the second wave of Avengers. In this one, we're considering the characters that don't really have the one-off movies. So that's going to be your Scarlet Witch, your Quicksilver. I put Vision in here, even though technically he was like the villain of the movie.
Yeah.
And then War Machine and Falcon. Again, like I'm putting some in here that are not necessarily superpowers, but I just wanted to include them. I like love Scarlet Witch. Like I want to be Scarlet Witch. So for me, that is my number one best superpower. Well, maybe not best, because we're gonna get to another one that might be my best.
So okay, Scarlet Witch. I remember seeing Avengers 2 with you. I remember seeing Ultron with you, and as soon as you saw Scarlet Witch, you were like, "Oh, that's my character," and like you've held on to that. I think Scarlet Witch is a great character, right? I think mind is 100% like better than strength. If you can like grab somebody by their mind, and you see that in the film, she can grab like multiple people at a time with her mind and just stop them in their tracks.
Right.
I think, and Phoebe agrees with me here in the chat, Vision is even better. I think that he's got the mind power. He can fly, which is by far, I mean, if you want to get away from somebody on the ground.
I feel like she could fly if she really tried. I don't know
I mean, she has,
because she can do that force field.
That's a good power too. I mean, you could stop people by having that force field, but I feel like flying away from people who can't fly automatically makes you better.
See, but the thing is, like, no, I disagree.
Okay.
Because Scarlet Witch. Okay, so she has a lot of hurt behind everything that's happened to her. So to get to the point where she is, she had to suffer a lot, and she's still suffering in her mind, but the suffering makes her stronger, and something about that speaks to me because I'm suffering. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I just like I think there's something about her, like she has this mind control where her past and everything that's led her up to this point makes her stronger, because she knows how to manipulate very specifically, you know?
Sure.
And like but then she also, like with the force field, she has this like, it's also like a protection, so she can fight offense and defense.
Yeah, so okay.
And she can protect herself as well as others. Whereas like the Hulk, his defense, like sure he could protect somebody else if he like jumps in front of them, but like she could just stand still and be like, force field.
Yeah. You know, so, and I thought about this too, like before the show, but it really, as we're talking about this now, so like on our channel, Shannon always talks about like shipping Reylo, and like that's her thing. Like Kylo Ren and Rey together is like her ship.
Yeah, power couple.
Yeah, me, Vision, and Scarlet Witch, hands down. That's a great like power couple. They've teased it. So many people say Scarlet, or so many people say that that Black Widow should have her own standalone movie. I don't understand why we couldn't have a Scarlet Witch standalone movie. I mean, I understand that like they haven't built a story and that would allow her to have her own movie, but I find them to be, especially in Ultron and Civil War, maybe the two most interesting characters within the, I don't, that's me personally, and I'm interested to see, especially in the next film, how Vision, you know, is dealt with, considering that he has one of the stones.
Yeah, and that's what Brittany says. Vision has an
Infinity Stone?
Thank you. And Scarlet Witch is still able to take him down in Civil War when she escapes from the house. So she's better. She didn't say that, but I said that. I'm just kidding. But it seems like a lot of people in the chat really do like Vision.
Yeah. You brought up Quicksilver, who's fast, but we already have Captain America, who's, I mean, he's fast, but he's not as fast as Quicksilver. And he dies. So what, I guess.
Spoilers.
Sorry. And then you have War Machine and Falcon, who, if you were to put Vision and Scarlet Witch up here, in my opinion, Falcon and War Machine are way down here. Like, they don't, which sucks for them.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
they're needed, but they're not, like, the best. Falcon is cool. I like Falcon a lot. Falcon's one of my favorites.
I think, like, going forward after Infinity War, we'll see more of these characters and what they have to offer.
So then we're actually going to move on now to, like, more of the movies that are, like, one-offs and standalones. So we have, like, all of the Guardians. We have Ant-Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther is who we're going to be talking about here. So let's first go through the Guardians. So, well, at least the superpowers of the Guardians.
There's not many, though.
No. So we'll say Groot.
Groot has to be the most powerful of the Guardians.
Yeah, he can. I mean, he has, like, regeneration powers. Like, that's pretty strong to be able to regenerate. And he's super strong. And he can grow things. Like, and he can basically not really get hurt. And if he does get hurt, he can just grow back.
I mean, the only problem, though, is, like, he's super powerful in the first Guardians film, and then we see him as baby Groot. And then we see him, like, as teenager Groot. And that Groot can't do anything. I mean, he can sneak into, like, little crevices, but, like...
Right.
Whatever. But, like, unless you have giant Groot, like, that's the only one that makes sense. So then the next in line from that might actually be Mantis. I think that I would prefer Mantis over Drax. Those are, like, the only other two that have, like, huge
you got that
superpowers,
mind control again.
Well, she can read people's thoughts and emotions, right? She can tell. So, like, she can tell when people are vulnerable.
But she can alter emotions. So, but she has to make contact. So that's a con.
Mantis. So everybody said Star-Lord and Drax. Here's the thing: Mantis, Drax. That's a couple that, like. That's a good couple right there.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know.
Skylar's saying Star-Lord and Drax.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, I think he's saying that because, like, sure.
Yeah.
But, like, I think that Drax and Mantis together in the second Guardians, I think it's fantastic. Yeah. They hint at it. They're funny together. They would be a great power team together. Here he's got the strength. She's got, like, the mental connection. You can combine those two. Perfect.
Yeah. What about Gamora? She's like and her sister Nebula, like they basically have superpowers because they're like part
Thanos. Well, they're not. I mean, but they're trained. They're trained to be soldiers, basically.
Yeah, but they're like their bodies are made of like different.
Nebula's is, right? Nebula's made out of, like, metal.
Yeah.
Pieced back together. Gamora's not. I would say that.
Doesn't Gamora have some parts?
I don't think so. But, like, you could say that, that, like, they're on the same level to me as, like, a Black Widow, right? They're, like, assassins.
Right.
They're trained to be assassins.
I don't know. Nebula, though, like, she can, like, she broke, like, every bone in her body and she just popped everything back into place. That's a little above assassin.
Oh yeah, that's definitely above, like, Scarlet Witch, like what she can, or not Scarlet, above Black Widow and what she can handle.
Yeah.
But, like, I would put them like a gear lower. Like, I feel like the team could go on without Star-Lord. He's not a great leader, right?
I don't know if he's not a great leader, but he doesn't have any superpowers.
Yeah, I don't see him as a great leader. I mean, he's a cool guy, but like he has a ship. That's like what he brings to the table.
But it's not a superpower. We're talking about superpowers.
Sure, yeah.
Hello, Daryl.
Hey, Daryl. Daryl's from the Story Geeks. You can watch their live streams and stuff over at Story Geeks. Follow them. They're great people.
And I just real quickly want to say some of the stuff in the chat right now. Noel says Guardians Groot is strong and a shield. Rocket is sneaky and technical. Drax is strong and good with guns. Star-Lord is good with guns, and Gamora is a trained soldier.
See, if you take Star-Lord out of the equation, you still have other characters that are good with guns. And I think that if you were to combine all of the science-y type of characters and the technical type of characters, Rocket is not nearly as good as Tony Stark is, as far as like knowing that stuff, or as like a Bruce Banner might be, in my opinion.
Daryl actually says here, have you talked about Doctor Strange yet? I'd be all over teleporting power, which brings us
to the other characters.
To our last category.
No, not our last category.
Oh, no. Sorry. Oh,
we have more.
No.
We're talking about Guardians. Sorry. Now we're talking about the other later films.
Yeah. So here now, besides Guardians, we have Ant-Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther.
Yeah.
I agree with Daryl. Doctor Strange has to be. I said before, like, I'm torn between Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And it's Doctor Strange is the other one, because for me, Doctor Strange is like everything that I think is cool about, like, okay, so the stuff that he can do, like, so Daryl says teleporting power, like, super cool, right? But he can like separate his mind from his body and like access another like plane or dimension or whatever you want to call it of existence.
Teleporting, stopping time.
Yeah.
Living on a different plane of existence. I mean, like, there's a lot that Doctor Strange brings to the table that none of the other characters bring.
Right.
And I think that like the other characters in this, okay, so I would say Black Panther, even though I loved Black Panther. I think I love Black Panther, the film, more because of the villain. I thought it was the best villain that they've had. But if you take away the vibranium from him, he's super strong, super strength. But again, we'll get, I think in the fourth, we're going to talk about in our fourth category, Netflix characters. And I think that, you know, Luke Cage is a better, stronger character than he is. But, you know, you can also say that probably about Thor or Hulk. But Ant-Man, I think, is an awesome power to grow giant or to grow smaller in certain situations. I think that is extremely useful. But without the suit, he can't do anything. And then Spider-Man, in the MCU universe, can't shoot the webs without the suit. But he can climb walls, and he does have spider sense. Spider sense is fantastic, although, again, I don't think it's great as Doctor Strange. And I would even say Doctor Strange and Ant-Man are above Spider-Man and Black Panther in this case. But I still wouldn't... I would put Doctor Strange way up there with Vision and Scarlet Witch to me. I think those three characters...
It seems like mind is winning out over strength here.
Yes.
Right? So far? So Captain Akron says, yes, Doctor's powers are very powerful. David Mock says Black Panther is also the most supple and agile of all the characters apart from Spider-Man. That's actually a really good point.
That's true. But again,
like, Hulk is like will punch through a building.
Yeah, but like he can wander around. And like you see him like at the beginning of the film. This isn't really a spoiler for anybody who's not seen Black Panther, but like you see him at the beginning of the film jump like basically from the sky and like land, you know, on the ground. Like he can do that kind of thing. But I think climbing walls, to me, surpasses, and like swinging from building to building.
Well,
like,
and you can be stealthy. Fear. That's like what I feel like. That's like the point, is like being stealthy, because there's like pros and cons to everything.
Right.
But I laughed because Daryl said spider sense would be horrible if you suffer from anxiety,
That's
and
very
that just
true.
like resonates with me right now. Like
yeah.
You just be
well,
like, ugh.
And Eric Disgeekly said Spider-Man can still do stuff without the suit. And
Right,
so I
that's
would agree with
important.
that.
That's
But like
important.
again, Doctor Strange can do stuff without the suit. So that, you know, gives him, again, I would put Doctor Strange and Vision and Scarlet Witch kind of on the same plane. And then everything else below that.
And so far, like, basically we're almost like kind of coming up with like categories here. We have like a strength, natural given strength, I guess, or even manufactured strength, or not manufactured, but like scientifically.
People that are smart, and you know, then there's that.
But then we also have like the people that are like born with the strength, or and then we also have like the mind people, and it seems like we're really liking the mind control people better. Yes. But the con with that is always that you're kind of like, you're suffering, and you're like, you're always like in this state of almost like a melancholy.
Well, it's also like the Cyclops problem, right? Like, it's not MCU, but in X-Men, Cyclops, if you take off the glasses, he's shooting laser beams from his eyes all the time. He can't turn it off.
Yeah.
If you have strength, it's fine. Your mind can, like, doesn't matter. But, like,
unless you're the Hulk and you don't know how to control it yet.
Sure, yeah. But, like, you can control your strength. But, like, when you can't keep your mind from always running.
Right.
And so that becomes a problem. And then that way I might give Doctor Strange the boost, because I think that his smarts plus his way to use and manipulate minds and time and teleporting and all that stuff may give him the benefit over everyone else.
Right. So let's move on now to our actual last category,
which is Netflix.
Netflix. So do the transition there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We have Jessica Jones. We have Matt Murdock, who is Daredevil. We have Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and I also threw the Punisher in there. He doesn't really have a superpower necessarily, but if we're gonna say Black Widow and Hawkeye and stuff, then I gotta throw Punisher in there for those who maybe think Punisher has the best superpower. I
mean, he's good with guns, right? Like, so, I mean, you will put him on the same plane as Star-Lord. Sure. So, but out of these four, I would give it to Luke Cage.
Okay.
I think that not only does he have the strength, but he has the skin that is unstoppable to bullets. I think that is hands down, like if you're gonna have strength, you're probably going to be hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
Right. And in this world, people have guns or other superpowers where they can shoot you or whatever, or your Hawkeye who shoots arrows, which I guess, you know, if you're living in the 18th century, great. I still love Hawkeye, I'm just saying. But, like, you would want that, right? You would want to have strength plus to be unstoppable to bullets.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I agree with you, but think about this. Luke Cage can only protect himself. His skin only protects himself from getting hurt. Whereas somebody like Scarlet Witch can force field a bunch of people and protect a bunch of people.
Sure. But if you need that guy that needs to be on the ground, you know, pushing, like being your hand-to-hand combat guy, I would pick Luke Cage. In my opinion, I would pick Luke Cage over somebody like the Hulk. I would pick Luke Cage over somebody like Iron Man, because Iron Man without the suit doesn't work.
Right.
Captain, I would pop Luke Cage out.
But think of like the impact that somebody like the Hulk or Iron Man can have on like a wide variety of they can impact like a larger area, where, like, you know, in the first Avengers, like, they're taking down like the flying alien ships and like, or whatever those things are.
Sure.
And they're mass taking out the bad guys, whereas like Luke Cage can just like punch 10 guys in a room. And what can he do?
He also, I mean, like, you look at the Netflix stories and they're smaller. They're based in New York. They're not like these grandiose things.
They're personal.
So if you put Luke Cage out into the galaxy? Is he going to be
punch his way through the galaxy? That should be like the tagline, like if they make a movie where he goes to the galaxy, it's like Luke Cage punching his way through the galaxy. So let's go to the chat right now. So David Mock says it depends on the villain. Like, we've seen villains who can physically outmatch heroes, but usually the hero outsmarts the villain. So that's again with the mind.
Smart's mind always works.
And also David loves Daredevil. Thanks Eric. He loves the transitions. Daryl says Cage would be awesome. No more paper cuts.
Yeah, of course.
I'm assuming that's a big problem. Brittany says Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. And also Iron Fist as well. Daryl says, could we have Murdoch's senses without being blind? That would be cool. That's actually a really good point. We haven't really gotten to Daredevil quite yet. Because you have pros and cons here.
You have to be blind to be able to have the heightened senses.
Right. But at the same time, like, is he really blind? He's not really blind.
Yeah, he is.
He can see. He can see, like, in his own way.
Yeah, but, like, it's still, again, like, if you were to take him out of New York City, out of this little story, and put him into the galaxy with all the other Avengers, is he going to be the best superhero with the best superpowers?
Right.
I don't think so.
Because it's hand to hand again. Like, it's all... And Spider-Man's like that too, kind of. Well, maybe not.
Brittany says that the Iron Fist has expert martial arts skills, which I would contest with, like Gamora, Nebula, Black Widow, but he has the immortal Iron Fist. On top of that, again, that's something that's a power, which is great, but I feel still like that character outside of the realm of Hell's Kitchen isn't as great as some of these other characters. I would still put Vision, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange at the top. I would say the mind control is at the top, and I would give Vision the tops for flying above Scarlet Witch, but I would give Doctor Strange the ultimate because he can control space and time, and that's huge.
Right. And he has with that controlling space and time, he can like make those I forget what they're called, but like those circle things, and then he can like turn those into weapons.
Yes. He can create his own weapons in the moment.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to talk about Iron Fist in the chat, they can. I don't know too much about Iron Fist, and I don't really think that anyone's going to necessarily think that he's the best. I think he's really, like, the least popular of the characters right now.
It's difficult because, like, Daredevil got all this hype, and, like, as we went, he was the fourth show that came out. So it was, like, I feel like the MCU on Netflix lost momentum the further you went with it, and then it's kind of gaining some momentum again with Punisher and stuff.
So we're gonna wrap this up, and we're gonna actually turn it towards the chat. If you once again are new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon, because it'll give you notifications next time we go live, because we go live and do the show every Saturday morning. We also have 3 other videos that we post every single week. We post Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and now Saturdays with the Saturday Morning Live show. And if you want to follow us on social media, I am Modern Mouse Ange, pretty much across the board on everything. Josh is Modern Mouse Josh, pretty much across the board on everything. Also, you can follow us. We actually make mouse ears. Oh, I was supposed to wear these.
And hats.
I wore these the whole time, right?
Sure, yeah, and hats.
But if you want to check out mouse ears like this, or like the ones behind me, or hats like this, we have those over at modernmouseboutique.com. Also, if you want to see anything else we're doing for Network 1901, because we also put out podcasts, which is where the name Modern Mouse originally comes from, you can go check that out. We also do 3 of those a week. And you can check all that out at network1901.com. That's the hub for everything we do. But we're going to move on to the last portion of the show, our Q&A, where we will continue the discussion in the chat, but also we'd like to take some questions from you guys, whether it has to do with the show that we're doing today or just in general. If you guys want to chat with us, if you have any questions for us, about Network 1901, anything, it's your time to ask. So again, now we are on to the Q&A. Is there a transition for that?
I didn't make a Q&A transition. I'm sorry. Graphics wise, I'm doing a horrible job.
Yeah.
And then after the show, if you're here for the live stream, I stick around and I chat in the chat box. But
and if you're watching this on the replay, comment below with anything that pertains to this, and we'll comment back. But it's really better to be here live because we can actually answer it live. You'll get an immediate response.
True.
So let's move on to the chat, to the Q&A. So I'm just going to read off what it says in the chat right now. So Brittany says Iron Fist as well. Daryl says, could we have Murdoch's senses without being blind? That'd be... I already did that.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Okay, we ended here. Okay, so Daryl says, I think the character seems really cool, but the show itself wasn't great. We were talking about Iron Fist here. Doctor Strange has an Infinity Stone for now as well.
That's true. So Vision and Doctor Strange could end up having serious repercussions coming into the next film.
I don't remember Doctor Strange having an Infinity... Oh, yeah! He has an Infinity Stone.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although
Vision's
worse off because he has one like physically in his head, which could be a problem.
Right.
Daryl did ask, what do you guys think of the Solo trailer? I am still skeptical about the film. I love its look and design. I love that like 70s aesthetic that they're giving it, harkening back to the original trilogy. I don't know. What do you think about Solo?
Okay. I will always say, like, I'm going to give it a chance. But the trailer, I don't know if it's just, like, the way they're trying to market it, but it looks like some weird action-adventure movie. And I really want it to be, like, a personal, like, character struggle, like, deep within himself, rather than, like, shooting guns and, like, racing around. But, again, I'm gonna give it a chance. Hopefully the trailer is a little misleading. Or maybe if it is, like, an action-adventure, maybe that's what it needs to be, and I'm just not, like, a big enough Star Wars fan to, like, realize that that's what it needs to be. Like, someone like Dale or Shannon might be like, yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna be, you know?
I think that, like, David said this in the chat, that he had no faith in the film until he saw the trailer.
Okay.
I had no faith, you know, the further and further we were getting to the thing coming out, that, like, I didn't think it was going to do well. The trailer made me believe in it a little bit more, but what were you going to say?
David said, oh, hey, did we talk about Bucky? No, we didn't, and that's Josh's favorite character.
Sebastian Stan.
He's
so cool.
He has a man crush on him.
Sebastian Stan's cool. Bucky and Hawkeye are kind of my two characters that I really love. But Bucky, the problem with that character is that he has, like, these trigger words, right? So, like, I mean, like, if you believe in what's happening and what should be going into the next film, right, that Shuri from Wakanda helped cure Bucky of his problems, which makes him a better character, but still he's really good with guns, and I guess he has, like, a metal arm, or we assume he is going to get a new metal arm from the trailer.
It's like an Iron Fist, kind of, you know, like.
So I mean, he's getting I would assume he's getting a vibranium arm, which would really be like a freaking iron arm. It would be more than an iron arm. He'd be like vibranium arm. Yeah. So that will give him some great opportunities. But, like, I wouldn't put him.
Who's Smeagol?
Oh, Andy Serkis?
Yeah, like
Claw.
Like, I mean, look at that. Look at his arm.
Yeah, but, like, again, once you take the arm off, then you just have a dude.
A dude that can, like,
start
punching people in the face if you're, like, microphone, mouse, light, camera, shirt, dog. And then he's like,
Yeah, Daryl said, you know, Bucky is as strong as Cap as well, which is great. But without the one, if you take away the arm, he's now a one-armed Captain America.
Yeah.
And so he, you know, one arm is better than two in that case. And then
so Brittany says, my guess is it will turn up with Adam Warlock. What is?
they're talking in the chat about the Soul Stone, which is the last of the Infinity Stones.
But who's Adam Warlock?
Adam Warlock is the teaser at the end of Guardians Volume 2. You know all the gold people?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, they are going to send.
Oh, the one that they're like making, they're making the perfect
yes
weapon.
So that will be.
So we're thinking one of the Infinity Stones will be with him. Is that what we're saying?
Possibly, and like this is because the character, like the stone hasn't popped up yet in the series of films, and the character hasn't popped up yet, but they teased it at the end of Volume 2. The possibility is that character would end up coming into play either in Infinity Wars or in Guardians 3 or in the fourth Avengers film. But we don't know. That's a cool speculation.
Yeah. So wait, so how many Infinity Stones do we have? How many are there total? And then
5?
how many have we seen? Have we seen all 5?
No. That's the only one that's missing.
So we're missing one.
Yeah, the Soul Stone.
So that's where. So what stone does Vision have? Is it the Vision Stone?
I can't remember the name of all the stones.
Okay. Well, maybe somebody in the chat can tell me, or in the comments later.
6 stones in total. We've seen 5.
Okay.
But anyway, so let's wrap this up.
But I just want to say real quick, David says, I think the Soul Stone will be the twist reveal plot point of Infinity War. So if it is with Warlock, then maybe that'll be like the character that's in Infinity War. And that's where it pops up. The Mind
Stone is Vision.
Mind is Vision. Okay.
And they won't release the name of the fourth Avengers film until the end of the Avengers Infinity War. So it could, give
But
away
Matthew says, I don't think Adam Warlock will be in Infinity War. My guess Guardians 3. And Brittany kind of says the same thing. So, but I guess we'll see. But that's it. Thank you, everybody who joined. I think today was a great show, really successful.
No props, though.
No props. I was going to make props, but I felt like today was a better discussion show. Let me know, actually, in the comments below if you prefer props, if you would have liked it if I had, a little chart here and actually, I actually got an easel to make it, a little more streamlined.
We're upgrading.
But other than that, thank you, everyone, for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Comment below, like this video, share this video, and join us next week, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 Eastern, for Saturday Morning Live.
Yeah, and don't do the voice. And if you are sticking around in the chat, make sure to stick around because I'll be chatting with everybody in the chat there. So, anyways.
You don't want me to do the voice?
So, do the voice. Sure, why not?
I'm not going to do it now.
Fine. Well, bye, everybody. Keep on moving, people.
Hurry back. Hurry back.
Wow. You're real cool.
Make sure to bring your death certificate.
Weird.